of scientists held in Paris when in 1960 they made a system of units for measurements, referred as SI of units. In it, we study base units and derived units. And number 3 is prefixes. First of all, I will explain base units. What are base units? First of all, its definition. What is its definition? So, the units that describe base quantities are called base units. यानी वो यूनिट्स जो बेस क्वांटिटीज को डिस्क्राइब करती हैं, बेस क्वांटिटीज की यूनिट्स के बारे में बताती हैं, उनको बेस यूनिट्स कहते हैं. ओके, फॉर एग्जांपल मीटर फॉर लेंथ, kilogram for mass, second for time, and so on. Okay, now, so what will you memorize for it? You will memorize table number 1.1 on page number 6. I will provide you, or you, if you have textbook, then it's in page number 6. You will memorize it, table 1.1, in which these 7 units are shown: meter for length, kilogram for mass, second for time, and in the same way, ampere for electric current, candela for light intensity, Kelvin for temperature, and mole for amount of substance. You will memorize the table 1.1. Next, now we come towards derived units. Next is derived units. Again, first of all, we will see its definition. And what is the definition? Derived units are defined in terms of base units. These are defined in terms of base units. How? By multiplying or by dividing the base units, we get derived units. For example, we know about area. Okay, how we will make derived unit of area from its base units? We know. For it, we must know the formulas. We know area is equal to length into width. So the unit of area will come. What is the unit of length? Base unit of length is meter into. What is the base unit of width? Width is also a kind of length, but shorter than the length. And its unit is also meter. So we got meter square. This meter square is unit of area and it is derived unit. In the same way, what is the formula for volume? Volume is length into width into breadth. Again, what are the base units? Meter for length, meter for width, and meter for breadth. So we got is equal to m cube. So m cube is the unit of volume. M cube is derived unit and it is formed with the help of base unit. Okay, there are three base units. First base unit for length, second base unit for width, third base unit for breadth. So volume is a derived quantity. Why? Because it is derived from base quantities. Now we come towards another example. For example, speed. How you calculate speed? You will calculate speed is equal to distance divided by time. We don't know this formula, but it will be taught in the next coming chapters. At present, I just tell you that the formula for speed is equal to distance divided by time. Again, here distance is a base quantity and its unit is meter. Time is a base quantity and its basic unit is second. So we got meter per second, or nowadays we write it as meter per second. So meter per second is derived unit of the derived quantity, and derived unit is derived from base units. And what are the base units? The units of distance and unit of time in this case. So this is the method how we calculate the derived units from base units using a formula which tells a relation between derived quantity and base quantities. Here, derived quantity and base quantities. These both make a formula. And from that formula, we come to know about derived units from base units from the formula. So you got this point? And what will you memorize in it? You will memorize the definition and example, and along with these two things, you will also memorize table 1.2 on page number, perhaps it is on page number 6. I will provide, or if you have the books, nowadays I've heard about it that books are available in the market, stationers are open, you may get the book, textbook of physics of federal board. Okay, now we come towards third topic, and that is prefixes. First of all, again, we will define what are prefixes. The main thing. Now, number 3, what are prefixes? First of all, we will define what are prefixes. So, prefixes are words added before a base unit. Which one the base unit? There are many base units, but the standard base unit. Okay, the words or letters added before base units, and especially we call it standard base units, are called prefixes. Now, for example, now we'll take example. The examples are kilo, mega, giga, or for making small units, we have centi, milli. This M is for milli, and deci, etc. Now we will make use of it. How? Consider we are given mass of 20,000 grams, and we want to make a use of prefix over here. Then we will learn in a table that kilo represent 1,000. Kilo represent 1,000. Therefore, we will divide it by 1,000. So we will get divide it by 1,000 to use prefix k, kilo. So what we get? We will get M is equal to 20,000 divided by 1,000. We get 20 kilogram. Now we divided it by 1,000, so we used a prefix k over here. So 20,000 grams is always equal to 20 kilogram. Now what will you memorize in it? You will memorize, there is a table table number 1.3 on page number 7. I will provide the page, or if you have the textbook, then it is on page number 7. So you will have to memorize 3 tables for this chapter. Table number 1.1, table number 1.2, and table number 1.3, along with the definitions. What are prefixes? And give single short example. This example is given in your textbook. You will also memorize number 1. What is System International? SI of units. Number 2, what are base units? Along with example. And number 3, what are derived units? Along with the examples. And number 4 is, what are prefixes? Along with example. And all these along with 3 tables. I write a kind of memorizing task for you. What is the task number 8? SI of units. What you will do? Define. Number B, base units, derived units, prefixes. These 3 things with at least one example plus 3 tables, 1.1, 1.2, 1.3. So this is the task we covered today, and you will have to prepare it, you will have to memorize it. If you don't memorize, then it will become a problem. Okay, see you next time. Bye.